Hey, how are you? I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie. Beastie's behind me walking around, rubbing her tooth on everything, but we are here and we will persevere. I'm here with Fantasy Six Pack to talk about Monday Night Football. And what a fitting way to end Week 10. It was a fantastic weekend of football, and this thing ends tonight, Week 10 at least. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. in LA. The Miami Dolphins head all the way to the West Coast to battle Stafford, Cup, and Puka in Monday Night Football. Should be fantastic. Over-unders at 48.5 points. Before I get into the game, some recent betting trends. Final score that won't be too shocking given the path of these two teams the last, handful of games. But make sure you get to the website at fantasy6pack.net. When you get there, look around, see what is best for you for premium options. You can always come hang in the Discord. That's where all the action is going on. You get some a lot of free stuff, but there are a few premium channels there. But it will be it'll be well worth your investment. When we look at this football game, Miami's playing the Rams. As I said, kickoff is at 8:15. We're gonna bing bang boom through this thing, and I have a lot of little notes written down. Normally, like if I write down Tua and Stafford on their own because they're the QBs. Then I get to the running backs and I just do blocks. I do chunks and blocks of the positional group, offensive positional groups. And tonight, my notes are still tiny, but I condense them all in the bottom, figuring that as I'm writing them, I'm reading them or I'm figuring them out in my own. And I'll go, oh, when I'm doing the video, when I talk about Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, I'll remember to go all the way down at the edge of my paper and go, the Rams allowing 8.5 yards per attempt, which makes Tua a fantastic play. That's and they're fifth most in the NFL in terms of giving up touchdowns. So Tua very much in play. Just weird things like that. That Miami has only allowing 183 pass yards a game, fourth best in football. So instead of hammering them out or saying them when they come to my mind, I thought we'd try a different way, and that different way just happened about 30 seconds ago. So let's talk about the players, and we'll start with Tua. As it stands now, the Rams 22nd overall against opposing quarterbacks in Tua, 22 to 23 completions. I have him for around 290 yards. I would not be shocked if Tua gets to 300 or more passing yards and a pair of touchdown passes. As I said, the Rams allowing 8.5 yards an attempt and the fifth most touchdowns. So to me, Tua is very much in play. Could it be a breakout game? I don't know how you would say it would. I guess season to season, this would be his big breakout since he hasn't done much this year. Miami hasn't done much in general. The second worst scoring offense. They're only scoring around 15.5 points a game. Last week, the Dolphins had 8 penalties for 57 yards. So there we go. 2 little nuggets I brought in at the perfect time. So hurrah for me. When you look at Matthew Stafford, him and McVay are kind of they're rolling, right? They're on the cusp of really starting to roll like a snowball when it goes downhill. Stafford 21 to 22 completions, around 240 yards, and he has 2 touchdown passes. And who will they be to? Will it be to Cooper? Will it be to Puka? I'll get to Puka when we get to wide receivers, but last night I'm laying in bed. I couldn't sleep. Sunday Night Football's going on. My heart's going a mile a minute. I was building, Monday Night Football games, and for no reason on earth did I say, you know what? I'm going to make Puka my MVP captain. And I just had that strong feeling, right? And I didn't know what it was from or how it came, but I figured I would entertain it. I would run with it. When we look at the running backs here, Devon Achane is very much in play. Obviously, Raheem Mostert to a certain extent. I didn't write this down. I had just read it, so maybe I'm consuming it. But Raheem Mostert only played 23 or 24% of the snaps last week, and he didn't score a touchdown. And he's only been active a few games this season. But Raheem Mostert has been a touchdown monger in his day with the Dolphins. But I'd prefer Devon Achane. Obviously, that goes without saying. I'm thinking 12 to 13 carries, around 50 yards, plus 4 to 5 receptions for another 45 yards. When you look at Devon, he has back-to-back games with 8 targets, back-to-back games with 50 receiving yards and a touchdown in double-digit carries in 7 of the last 8 games. So Devon is getting all the work he can handle, and it's going to be a beautiful thing tonight against this middle-of-the-pack Rams DST because of, I don't know how to put it, but the Miami Dolphins, this is now or never for the Miami Dolphins, whether they're, in the running game, the passing game, sure as heck, this is now or never. They need to put something together. They're 2-6. I mean, they'd have to string together 5-6 wins to be, anything of importance, but you lose tonight and you are toast. 2-7. They could already be toast as we speak, but 2-7 is a mountain, an insurmountable climb. It wouldn't happen. So let's hope for the best for Miami because I'm excited about this game. When you look at the Rams running backs, Blake Corum, he's a rookie, not much going on, 2 to 3 carries, if that. I believe he was relegated to 1 or 2 total touches last week. So why would tonight change? You know why? I don't think it'll change. Kyren Williams is going to run his face off in this one, and they're just gonna drop the football into Kupp and Puka, Demarcus Robinson, maybe Colby Parkinson, 1 or 2 targets. But to me, Kyren Williams is the showcase player of this game. 20 to 21 carries, 85 to 90 yards. That's on a low end, given 20 to 21 carries, a touchdown on the ground. That's one of the biggest locks of all time. Kind of like saying, given Joe Mixon's current heater he's on, to say Joe Mixon will score a touchdown last night really wasn't going out on a limb because of how dang hot he's been. Kyren, same deal. That's all he does is score touchdowns, plus 1 or 2 receptions for around 20 yards. And get this little nugget. Miami has allowed around 120 rushing yards a game. So what are the chances Kyren gets 110 of those? And you can peel off 10 yards for Blake Corum and we'll move on. When we look at the wide receivers, we're already like 6-7 minutes into the video, and I spoke a lot of my piece, but again, now or never for the Miami Dolphins wide receivers or their offense in general. When you look at Tyreek Hill, questionable by all accounts. It looks like he has re-aggravated his wrist injury. That was on Friday. This is now Monday, so you get some rest time, you get some therapy, some hot wraps, seaweed wraps around his wrist. I don't know if that's a thing, but hey, Tyreek Hill, the Los Angeles Rams, they're allowing 8.5 yards an attempt. I've said that several times, and it goes into what I'm saying. So Tua, 300 passing yards, a pair of touchdowns. If Tyreek Hill is active, you're looking at 8-9 targets, 5 to 6 receptions, 80 to 85 yards, and just square off or check mark a touchdown for Tyreek Hill if he's active. If he's not active or if he's playing, it doesn't matter to me. When we get to Jalen Waddle, he has been a thorn in a lot of folks' sides in seasonal formats, dynasty formats. What are we going to do with Jalen Waddle? First, I'm going to tell you in DFS formats, we're going to play him 6-7 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 60 yards. And get this, he only has 10 targets spread out through the last 3 games. And one game over that 3-game stretch, only one of those was he over 46 yards. And last week he scored a touchdown. When we look at Odell Beckham Jr., his arrow is up, and that's only if Tyreek Hill is not playing. I have OBJ 1-2 targets, 1-2 receptions. And again, that's if doesn't matter if Tyreek Hill is active for OBJ. When you look at Cooper Kupp, Puka, and D-Rob, Demarcus Robinson, I have Cooper Kupp and Puka for the same amount of work, 9 to 10 targets apiece, 6 to 7 receptions. I have Cooper around 70 yards, and I have Puka 75 to 80 yards, and I think Puka is the one who scores a touchdown. Could it be the first Rams touchdown of the evening? You can put odds on that, or is it just the only wide receiver who scores a touchdown for the Rams, seeing how Kyren Williams is going to break off a hunk of playing time and yardage and red zone looks and all that. So to me, Puka is the call. Kyren MVP flex, Puka in the other spot, and we'll just move this thing around. Have to have Devon Shane, in that three-headed, that triple-headed monster. Let's go Devon Shane. Jalen Waddle to a certain extent, but I love Puka, Kyren, and Devon, the 1, 2, 3, and we're just rotate them in and we go from there. When you look at the tight ends in this one, What about Jonnu Smith at the Rams? The Rams are 24th overall against opposing tight ends, 5-6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, around 50 yards. When you look at Jonnu Smith, 26, 29 years old, so he's not like this young. I mean, that is a young man's age, but he has a low ceiling, right? But who cares? Because Jonnu, 6 targets in 4 straight games, at least 46 yards in the last 3 games. So Jonnu's putting in work. I could make a case for Jonnu Smith in our MVP captain spots here tonight, given the fact that, say it with me, Miami, or the Rams, excuse me, allowing 8.5 yards an attempt. That's going to come in play tonight. How could it not? When you look at the kickers, the only one that I'm going to point out here is Jason Sanders. I firmly believe that Sanders, he has at least a 6-point floor. So you put in Jason Sanders, you can already count 6 points. That's a gambler guy in me. But look at this. The Rams are 22nd overall in points allowed overall at 24.3. So that's where we get the 6-point floor from Sanders. If the Rams are, you can start the Miami Dolphins with 24.3 points. How are they going to get to that? Few extra points, few field goals. That's how I've worked in Jason Sanders to a 6-point floor. Give you some recent betting trends, final score, and we will get the heck out of here. You won't have to see me again until probably Thursday if that's what you're into. Miami 2-9 against the spread their last 11 games. The Rams 4-2 straight up their last 6, and these two speak to me. The under has come in 7 of Miami's last 10 games, and the under has hit in 4 of the Rams' last 5 games versus Miami. And lastly, the Rams 7-1 straight up their last 8 at home. This game is at home. I think they make it 8-1 their last 9 at home. Give me the Los Angeles Rams to win this one, 31-21. You're looking at a difference of around 10 points, but Tua gets to 300 yards. Tua gets a touchdown pass or two. Devon Achane scores a touchdown. Who else did I say? Kyron Williams scores a touchdown, and Puka. That's my triple-headed stack for anytime touchdowns, and why not run it in DFS formats? MVP captain, flex, and we'll just flip this whole thing on our head if you have enough funds to put in at least 3 lineups. Be good, be safe. Thanks for watching the single game slate video, Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. Thank you for reading Bottom of the Barrel this week and any other weeks prior. The Rams win this one, 31-21. Be good, be safe. I'll see you next week sometime. Bye-bye.